here we are, 5 days since sand, and I had every intention of giving you just weekly updates, but things are moving along very quickly. So I think the way I'm gonna do this is every 5 days, I'll stop in and show you what's going on in the lawn and how I'm taking care of it. And today is the first day I've done anything to it besides the watering every day. As I told you, I have watered every single morning for about an hour and 15 minutes or so, except for one morning. You may remember the forecast that I showed you was completely dry for 7 days. Well, they decided to put a 20% chance of rain in the forecast, and of course, this happened. The radar has like 1 or 2 little specks on it, and one of them is right above my house. So today, the first day to do anything in the lawn, and all I'm doing to it today, no mowing, nothing but just putting an edge on it. It has been about a week or so since it's been edged, so those are starting to get a little bit scrappy. It's kind of like going to the barber and just getting a neck trim. But other than that, we are leaving it untouched. I'm sure you're saying, well, show us what it looks like. Okay, let's do it. I mean, it is really moving fast. I would say that I've timed this just right. The weather, the dry conditions, except for that one afternoon, of course, and the heat, really moving this Bermuda along quickly. Anywhere where you see sand, I mean, look at this. It's almost all the way filled in there. Anywhere where you see sand, those were just the really deep spots or my spring dead spots. But even those are starting to fill in faster than they were before we got the sand down. So we may not even be needing that full month to get back to normal. I bet we do, but we're going to be very close and just shy of a month, I would guess. Now, we're still not going to mow it for several more days, but it sure does look a lot better. Just putting that edge on the sidewalks and the driveway really just cleans it up a little bit and makes me feel better, if nothing else. So that's your 5-day update. I will see you again on day 10. It's the day that feels like it will never come. It really tests your patience because it looks like crap for quite some time. But after 10 days since the sand, it is time to get the first mow in on it. And it's been 12 days since it's been mowed. But we are going to get this thing cleaned up significantly today. Now, we're going to be using the rotary mower today. We're not going to be taking it down very low. Up until now, we've just been letting that grass work its way up through the sand. And now we want to start promoting a little bit more lateral growth by just cutting the top of it off every once in a while. And before you know it, we'll be back to our normal lawn and real mowing. So let's go look and see what it looks like after 10 days before we mow, and then I'll come back and show you what it looks like after we mow it. Filling in pretty nicely, folks. Lots of seed heads though. Looks like garbage. Look at those runners starting to spread over those spring dead spots. I mean, those shouldn't be around too much longer, and really not going to see much sand for too much longer either. But if you look close, you can tell we've mainly just had vertical growth on the Bermuda coming up through the sand. You can still see the sand in there. Now, just by mowing it periodically, a little bit more frequently, we can start getting it to spread laterally and start to thicken up. But we're just going to be using the rotary mower today because even though this sand was nice and screened masonry sand, still has little rocks in it, just small ones, nothing big, but those could get in the way of the reel. And right now our main objective is just to get this cleaned up. So we're not going for pretty perfection just yet. We'll be there soon enough. So let's get the old trusty Troy built out and get rocking and mowing. It's all part of the process. It's all part of the process. It's all part of the process. That's what I keep telling myself, because I get all excited about the first mow. We get that in, we get everything edged and blowed, and then I want to step back and take a look at it. I think it's just going to look so awesome, and it's just not there yet. This just takes time, but I can tell you one thing. Now that it has been cut and we're going to be cutting it regularly, it is going to thicken up and fill in even faster now. We are on to an every other day watering schedule. So I can't get discouraged, and it's really hard not to look around at spots and start second guessing what I did and wondering, did I do enough here? Did I do enough there? Because I know that I did the best I could the 2 days that I put sand down. And at this point, it is what it is. I just need to let it come all the way back in, because I know when that happens, it's going to look really good. It's just real easy to start nitpicking things right now, and that does us no good. So let's take a look at what it looks like. I had the blade set somewhere around, probably around 2 inches. So it didn't take a whole lot off, but it took off enough to get that first mow in and get the process speeding up towards normality. The spring dead spot's really the only areas that are sticking out like a sore thumb at this point. Everything else coming in very, very nice. And it wasn't a perfect mow by any stretch of the imagination. It was long, shaggy, sandy in spots. But overall, it is out of the way. And it doesn't look as bad as I'm probably making it out to be, because you know as well as I do, we are our own worst critics. So I'm probably going to mow this again in 3 or 4 days. So I will do that before I see you again on day 15. So until then, this was your day 10 update. We'll see you in 5 more days. Just past the 2-week mark. It is day 15. Mowed it on day 10, mowed it again on day 13, and was going to mow it again on day 16, but I'm trying to get back on my every 3-day schedule. But we have a decent chance of rain tomorrow, so I wanted to get it in before that. This is my 3rd time to mow it. We took it down 1 more notch, and I will say that huge improvements. So I've already mowed it with the rotary mower, lower than I could last year, and not seeing much in the way of scalping. Now there are a few spots here and there, but if I would have mowed at that height last season, it would be Donut City all over the lawn. So why am I still using the rotary mower, you ask? Because until all of the sand is gone, well, let's not say all of it, but pretty much all of it, I don't want to get the reel back out on it, because that sand can dull down the blades on the reel and the bed knife. So we want to minimize any of that as much as possible. So we'll keep using the rotary mower until then. Pretty good little scalp there and there. But I will tell you, it's a huge improvement from what it was before we threw down those 4 scoops of sand. But I will say 4 scoops of sand this year and 4 last year just goes to show you how bad it was in the beginning. But still, I knew this was going to be a long process going into it. Now, I'm sure there are faster ways to do it, but if you're going to slow play it like I am and just do a little bit each season, and you're in a bad spot, just be prepared for it not to be perfect for quite some time, if ever. But we are on a regular watering schedule now. This is our 3rd week, so we're back to just making sure it gets an inch of water a week. So for the most part, care for it is back to normal. Normal watering, normal mowing, edging, and blowing, aside from not being able to use the reel. But things are filling in fast. The weather is just right for the runners to keep overtaking these spring dead spots. And I anticipate that over the next couple weeks, we will see more drastic changes. So keep your eyes peeled. That's it for day 15. I'll see you back here on day 20.